We are talking SEO, Search Engine Optimization. Now, my guest on today's show is Andy Williams. No, not the singer. He's long gone. No, this is the Andy Williams, SEO Andy Williams. Been on the show before. He's going to be giving us advice on how you should be going about SEOing your website.
What you'll find is that some people maybe will design websites, and as an add-on, they will offer SEO. But they might not be SEOs by trade, or they might not be digital marketers by trade. So what effectively they're doing is carrying out the best tactics that they believe are still relevant, and they could be completely out of date. The problem with Google Updates is that there's a lot of noise that surround them before they come out, but no one knows exactly what the impact is going to be. We're still in a position as well where people might not be getting a lot of mobile traffic. So the fact that there's a mobile update that's come out might not affect them, might not bother them at all. And you could also be in a position as well where half of your site is mobile friendly and half isn't, but that might be what you want. If you're only looking to target your mobile audience in a certain way, then you definitely have to optimize towards that. But if you're not up to date at the moment, definitely look into it, definitely become responsive. But yeah, it wasn't the big panic that everyone thought it was going to be. But the idea behind SEO these days is you've got to think about your audience. You've got to think about who you want to address. Who do you want to engage with you? Who is looking to buy your products? And the way SEO has changed now is that should be your focus, rather than going around keyword stuffing your site full of all these terms and having loads of internal links and footer links and doing all the wrong things that make your site look horrible, messy and non-engaging. That's all out the window now. You've got to think about your audience, and you've got to build content around your site. You've got to build a presence around your site. You've got to be social. You've got to put content out there. You've got to make people engage. You've got to, when they come to your site, you've got to make them act the way that you want them to. The very nature of SEO is getting to #1 in Google or onto the first page. So as you can imagine, there are lots of old blog posts that have got lots of longevity, and they still rank for how to write a title tag, but that doesn't mean that it's still relevant. So it's important that you understand that the updates, and we've had 3 that are probably going to be the main ones. We've already spoken about the mobile update, but there's Penguin, there's Panda, and there's Pidgin. If you've got really great content and you're putting it out there, people will naturally link back to you. Whereas before you could kind of create your own links, put your site into directories. Now it's kind of down to the individual. If you've got great content, people are going to link to it, and they're the sort of links that you want to get. And if someone comes to your page, what is it that you want them to do on that page? Is it to buy the product? Is it to contact you? Or is it to find more information? The most recent one is the Pidgin update. But this is around local SEO, and the idea is that Google want to deliver the most local information if you search for something that's got local intent. Google ranks web pages, it doesn't rank websites. So it could well be that you've got one page that doesn't rank very well, but another page does. But if all you've done is optimised your entire site across the same key term, but each individual page is relevant to something completely unique. So if you sell different products online, then every single one of those pages should be optimised to that individual product. So I am Andy Williams, not the Andy Williams, the other Andy Williams from Andy Williams SEO Limited. And some of the key takeaways I think that you need to look into if you're going to carry out your own SEO, if you haven't got time to hire an individual like myself or an agency, then what you need to do is that the SEO landscape has changed a bit, so you need to know exactly what Google is expecting from you. So make sure you're up to date with all the Google updates. There are plenty of blog posts that are out there. The main ones to look out for, of course, are Penguin, Panda, Pidgin, and of course the recent mobile update. It's important you understand what they're about so that you can move forward from those. It's also important that you understand what Google is expecting from you. So make sure you do your research into that as well. Once you've done that and you're in a position where you can actually start your SEO, then the key places you need to look on page are your title tag, your meta description, your H headings, the alt image alt tags, And also the content as well. Make sure the content is of a very, very high quality. Make sure when people come to your pages, they know exactly what you want them to do. If you're selling a product, then sell the product. If you're offering information, then offer the information. But don't fill that space with information that is going to waste their time, or else they will just move elsewhere. And make sure you've got your name and your address and also your phone number on pretty much all your pages. A really good place to put this is in the footer of your site as well, so that information can then also be fed in from a local SEO point of view. And make sure you look into the technical SEO side of things as well, which is a whole different subject. But if your site isn't technically sound, then you could be holding yourself back. So make sure you look into those areas and you're off to a good start.